Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron, and I was originally wanting to film this video and post it before I posted anything else on YouTube, but plans changed, and that's okay. I've been trying to psych myself up to film this video for a while, and now it's been about 30 minutes since I sat down and have been trying to film it, and we're just gonna send it and do it, and so here we are. I've been just I guess a little nervous, but also just apprehensive and putting this video off for a little while because YouTube and sitting down in front of the camera and long form content is a little intimidating for me. It's very windy, so hopefully that does not impede your ability to hear me speak. I'm sitting outside my parents' house right now on their side yard garden area. So I've been really wanting to film this video as a little get to know me and kind of answer a few questions that I get often and kind of just introduce myself so that moving forward you kind of have a little bit of background about me. I've been an avid consumer of YouTube kind of since it started. I love YouTube. I think it's probably one of my favorite platforms to consume content as well as learn, and knew that I wanted to start contributing to that form of content. So I was born and raised in Encinitas, and now I currently live in Carlsbad with my boyfriend and our dog. We moved out almost a year ago. Yeah, a year ago next month. We moved back, or I moved back home after college. So I went to LMU for a year in LA, and then I transferred and came back home to San Diego and went to UCSD, and I continued to play soccer and then study human development and global health. That's kind of what I got my degree in and my knowledge in, I guess you can say. I had plans of applying to nursing schools and becoming a nurse midwife. And in the process of doing that, of graduating and finishing up prereqs and taking classes, I was working as a medical assistant in, I worked in dermatology and OBGYN, and I knew I really wanted to be a nurse midwife, and so I did my doula certification and kind of was like fully on board and on my way to pursuing that career. And then randomly, one of my dad's colleagues, who is actually vegan, asked if I would be interested in doing meal prep and private chef work for them. So anyways, I had a lot of time to cook, and I was sending my dad to work with a lot of healthier plant-centered meals because I am pescatarian, mostly vegetarian, and that's just what I love to cook. So I was sending my dad to work with a lot of that, and his colleague saw that and was like, would you be interested in cooking for us? So I started doing some private chef work for him and his wife, and they kind of like pushed the word out. I ended up doing a few parties, and I did like a whole season of kind of private chef work. I worked on a yacht. That was very interesting, in the San Diego Bay, and that was really rough. Granted, keep in mind, I had no idea what I was doing. I had only ever cooked at home with my family and in the comfort of my own kitchen, and I had never cooked for money. I had worked in restaurants before as a server and a waitress and a hostess and an expo, but I had never been like on the line in a kitchen before, so I literally had no idea what I was doing. And then all of a sudden I was like going to people's homes and meal prepping their entire week's worth of meals, and so that was like really weird. I still at that point had no concept of like, oh, I could do this as a job. I would tell people that I was planning on going to nursing school and I really wanted to be a midwife, and that was my plan. But my dream job, my selfish dream job that I would love to do if I like could be anything in the world, would to be like a travel food blogger. And that's what I would tell people. And so it was like in my head, I just never wrapped my mind around the idea that I could possibly do this for money. I'm still trying to figure that part out, is the making money part. But yeah, so I started doing that. I did that for about 6 months, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw a supper club. And so then that's when I started throwing supper clubs. It all kind of happened very fast, and a lot of, I guess where I got this idea of a supper club, a lot of my inspiration, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite creators. She's a cook and a sustainable food advocate and a content creator and a supper club host, and she does a lot of great things. Her name is Xanthi Ross, and I found her on Instagram, and I remember like finding her like a few years ago and just like falling in love with the content that she posted, and also just like this concept of a supper club. I grew up in a family who loved to cook, and we were always cooking together, always in the kitchen. A lot of my childhood and memories are in this kitchen, and so throwing a dinner party was never like a nuanced thing for me, but it was weird. It was new to like invite strangers or ask people to buy tickets and pay for the food that I was cooking. So yeah, so seeing her do it, I was like, if she can do it, why can't I? And yeah, so it just kind of spiraled from there, working as a private chef, and then I started doing those, and then I got to a point where I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I got really bad imposter syndrome, and my brother said, okay, like, you should go and get professional experience. And I was like, I don't want to work in a kitchen. I want to go to culinary school. I really wanted to go to Ballymaloe Cookery School in Ireland, of course, because why would you not want to do that? But I had already had loans pulled out from undergrad, and I had no financial stability to go and do something like that. It was really expensive. So I decided that I would go and work in a kitchen and learn that way. So like a year and a half later, here we are. I am still working in kitchens. I've worked in like 4 different kitchens in the last, how long has it been? Like 14 to 16 months. Worked in a lot of different settings, and I've worked under a lot of different chefs who have taught me a lot of different things. And I honestly could not be more thankful and for the experiences I've had and the people I've gotten to meet and the connections I've made. I think it was really good for me to push myself outside of my comfort zone and work on the line and learn from firsthand experience, as well as getting paid at the same time. So that was really nice. I stopped working on the line in a late night, like night service restaurant, because honestly, I just like couldn't do it anymore. I knew going into it would be really hard for me because I have always been a 6 a.m. wake up person, going to bed at 9. So I knew obviously the kitchen life, the pirate life, was going to be very hard for me, and it's great and it's awesome and you learn a lot, and I would never trade any of my memories and experiences and friends that I've made in the kitchens for anything. It's just the pirate life is not for me always. Sometimes I wish I could do it. I sometimes I wish I could like power through it and like make it work for me. But yeah, that chef life and that line cook life is a rough one, and it's a hard one, and not many people can say that they can do it, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm a grandma. At heart, I'm a grandma. So that's kind of the background of what led me to where I'm at right now. Right now, I still work in a catering kitchen part-time, and I also make a little bit of money on social media as I have continued to share on my platform, and I've grown very, very, very slowly, and I've had the opportunity to make some money doing branded content, which has been really awesome and really cool. And now I'm trying to host supper clubs more often, so that's kind of where I'm at now. Social media is a weird one, and I definitely have like a love-hate relationship with it. I'm sure a lot of people can relate in my generation. We kind of grew up with it in a sense. I think I got my first Instagram when I was like a freshman in high school, like 2014, 2015 or something like that. I definitely am still working on finding like a good balance with social media, because I tend to like set really high expectations for myself, really strong, obnoxious goals, for lack of better words, and then I get burnt out really quickly, and then I just don't even want to be on social media for a while, and I like take a break, and then I get back onto it, and I feel like I've kind of like fallen behind. So it's definitely been tricky, like finding a good balance with all that and figuring out what works for me. Also trying to stay positive and not worry too much about the numbers and too much about the likes and the followers and everything, because when I do that, it just sucks all the fun out of it, and then it sucks the fun out of cooking for me. So I think I'm definitely like getting to a point where it's better with all that. I just want to love food and love cooking and not make it such a stressful thing in that sense. Now I feel like I have a little bit more perspective as to what I want to do with my career in food as well as on social media. The ultimate goal is to eventually make these supper clubs and events my main thing and my main source of income and my main source of work. I just love putting on events so much, and I love bringing strangers together around a new table with a fun, unique menu. I love decor, and I love creating a theme and a vibe and planning all the little details. I just find that so fun. I think I would probably also love being like some type of event planner or wedding coordinator. The community aspect of supper clubs is what lights my soul on fire. Try not to be super cheesy, but I always say like food is the ultimate uniter. We all need it. We all love it. We all have memories with it in some way, and food is what brings us together cross-culturally, internationally, all the things. Like food is in all of us. What I want from this channel is to kind of create like a video diaries and use this platform as almost like a keepsake of all of my adventures and the things I learn and the things that change and grow and morph as I grow my business. And I think starting this YouTube will be really fun to share day in the life vlogs, host an event with me, and the behind the scenes, and kind of get more honest and real in this space. I would love for this channel to be a little bit more of that, a little bit slower pace, a little bit more raw, uncut, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am type of thing. Some goals I have that I can share with you and that I will be continuing to share as I grow this platform and me learning and doing all these things. Something I really want to do in terms of cooking is do more outdoor cooking and more open fire cooking. I have been really loving the chef Francis Malman from Argentina. He is like king of open fire cooking, and he is just so cool, so badass, and also I love his pops of color. He has just been a chef who has been really inspiring me to get outside my comfort zone and cook in different ways than I traditionally have in the past. I've been watching a ton of documentaries on him, and I just ordered one of his cookbooks, and I think that's something that I really want to focus on in the next year or so. Other things that I want to do is get back into gardening and learning about growing my own food and sustainable agriculture and organic farming, and really try to pour time into that. My dad has built a beautiful garden in this house, and I really want to help him kind of revive that because they've been going through some construction and it kind of got torn apart, and I really want to help him kind of like revamp that this year for the spring and the summer. And then also my uncle has a huge green thumb, and he says I can help him plan his spring garden and summer garden this year, so that would be really fun. I currently live in an apartment. I have a tiny little herb garden that is like kind of dying because I've been neglecting it, so if I can utilize their space, that would be really nice. Growing my own food, cooking with my own food, cooking outside over open fire. One day I think I would love to write a cookbook. I've been reading cookbooks nonstop lately, and it's just been really inspiring me to want to do that one day. I never thought I would want to. I am dyslexic, and reading and writing have never been my strong suits, so the idea of writing a whole book is a little scary, but I think that is something I would want to do. I think it would be a good challenge for myself, and I think I would be super proud of myself if I were to ever do that. Another goal of mine, I've lived in San Diego, Southern California, LA, but mostly San Diego my entire life. And I've always dreamed and talked about moving out of the country, moving out of the city, moving out of California, and I still really want to do that. So that's also a big goal of mine, is being able to build up my business and my brand and enough merit for me to be able to go and take that kind of anywhere I want in the world. I want to experience a lot of different cultures. I love traveling. I do a lot of traveling, and I kind of just spend all my money on that when I can. There was a point in time where I was just working for 6 months, saving up all my money to just go on a big trip and then come back broke and do it all over again. I'm trying to get a little bit more financially minded, and I feel like all the traveling I've done has like sort of scratched my itch, but it never fully settles that part of me of wanting to go outside of my comfort zone, move away, and experience a new world, a new culture. But yeah, I guess those are the things you can expect from my channel and the stuff that I'll be talking about and filming and sharing, and I'm really excited to finally be doing this. I'm very nervous. I think as much as it is a challenge, it is because of that imposter syndrome that gets in the way of what gets in my I get in my own way a lot, and I always think like I'm not doing anything interesting enough, no one cares to see this, blah 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 blah, but at the end of the day it does not matter. Like I said, this will be a video diary, and if anything, this is just a video diary series for myself to look back on with my future family or my grandkids or whatever and reminisce. So that is what this will be. So I appreciate you being here, and hit that subscribe button. Oh my god, I've never said that before. Hit that subscribe button if you want to continue to learn about the things I get up to. So it is Sunday, so if you're watching this on Sunday, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your day no matter when you're watching this. Until next time.